Man, I'm kind of feeling the Windows 8.1 end of support. What do you think? Yeah, let's do it. Windows 8.1 reached end of support on Tuesday, January 10th. This sucks. I actually still have an active Windows 8.1 right now. It's not like normal Windows 8.1. It's Windows 9. That sort of stripped down 8.1 embedded or whatever it was called that we made a video about. I looked at that thing. I was like, man, it's fucking snappy. This is amazing. And so I immediately set it up on a VM that to this day I still use. So I'm gonna have to like update that thing. That sucks. Cause like that's my sketchy VM that I've just used for like, oh, this is like a weird program. Okay, let's disconnect it from the rest of the network and see what it does. Like, and because it's so bare bones, it's really easy to tell if anything is there that's not supposed to be there. And like, man, I love that VM. It's been through a lot with me. Anyway, technical support, software updates, and security fixes will no longer be provided. You're not going to say anything. And Microsoft is recommending that customers move to a more current version of Windows. They are not offering a free upgrade path from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10 or 11. And unlike what happened with Windows 7, Microsoft will not be offering an extended security update program for Windows 8.1, probably because nobody would even want it. The ESU program for a number of older products actually also came to an end on Tuesday, including Windows 7 Professional and Enterprise versions and Windows Server 2008 R2. Fun fact, I was actually using Windows Vista earlier this week. And Windows 8.1 is not going to be as bad as that, but I can tell you, using an outdated version of Windows, it gets pretty rough after a while. So it was good up until I think it was about 2 years ago. We got our hands on the Dell XPS M2010, I think it's called. It's a wild laptop. I can't imagine they made more than like hundreds of these, if even that. Like I can't even imagine who would buy this thing. But we got our hands on it, and that thing shipped with Windows Vista. And apparently it was pretty good up until just a couple of years ago when support for, when Chromium stopped supporting Vista. So effectively, you couldn't do anything in a browser. I think Valve pulled support for Vista in Steam around that time as well. Don't quote me on that. I could have the timing a little bit off. But man, you try to do anything on Vista today, and it's bad. Even ignoring the security issues, let me tell you. I tried to load up RottenTomatoes.com, okay, so that I could check reviews for a Blu-ray to determine if I was willing to risk losing it in the pop-up motorized optical drive on the top of this laptop. Guys, do not miss that video. I was like, do I care about this Blu-ray? And then I could manually calculate the percentage of thumbs up and thumbs down reviews, because I could see how many there were, but the actual images weren't loading. It was pretty rough. Our discussion question here is, where would you rank Windows 8/8.1 on a best to worst list of Windows versions? This is one of those things that's kind of like 98, 98 SE, and ME, where the lines are a little blurry. You can't ask me where would you rank Windows 8/8.1, because Windows 8 and 8.1, let's just say Microsoft learned a lot from Windows 8, and Windows 8.1 was far less of a piece of shit. I would rank Windows 8. Oh man, see, I liked Vista, so let's go. Man, you know what? That'd be kind of a fun video, like ranking Windows, and like just like Windows tier list. Yeah. Oh, that could be a fun Floatplane exclusive. Doing like, hey, Dan, can you ping the social team and actually CC James and let them fight it out over whether that's an LTT video or whether it's a Floatplane exclusive, just like kind of casual social video. But we should do like a Windows tier list.
Just a Windows tier list? I wasn't listening at all.
Yeah, Windows tier list. So we take all the editions of Windows and we have people rank them best to worst. Even good pre-NT Windows, like DOS-based Windows 98 SE, was not very good. It crashed a lot. It had a lot of compatibility issues in spite of the fact that it was running on top of DOS. DOS programs just would not work a lot of the time. I think it's hard to call Windows 8 legitimately worse than anything before the NT kernel. But I would say that Windows 8 was probably the worst of the post-NT kernel operating systems for me. Like, 11 has its issues, but they're not stability issues. They're not just like making it utterly unusable issues with a keyboard and mouse, right? And Windows 8, as I talked about before, with the Windows 9 experience, could get wildly better. I've told you guys, if I could have had the latest versions of DirectX supported, there is no reason why I couldn't have just continued running 8.1 embedded with modifications, kept running Windows 9 until today. Mm-hmm. There is no reason for me to not do that. It is so usable. Start menu search works fine. It's much easier to get at your network configuration panel. Oh, you don't have that bullshit, terrible control panel that's just like sits on top of the regular control panel and makes everything more difficult. Actually, I think you did have a little bit of that, but it wasn't as bad. The whole regular control panel was still there, damn it. Yeah, no, I liked 8.1 with the right tweaks. But then I liked Vista, so what the fuck do I know? Fucking idiot. I was running Vista on modern hardware. I didn't try to plug in my old 98 SE era printer. That's a big difference, right? Windows Vista worked great on a brand new computer playing current gen games because it was what everyone was validating with. Yeah, okay. Luke, on the other hand, worked at Geek Squad in the Windows Vista days, and it was a bloodbath of low-spec laptops. Yeah, I think that's very fair to say. If you had the specs for it, it ran great. If you were running like 32-bit Vista on some piece of crap laptop, it was a pretty bad time. Pretty bad time.